Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems. This game is better than Maximum Carnage, but considering how Maximum Carnage stresses me out, this is not really much of a compliment. This is not necessarily a compliment because this game isn't much better. After the success of the great arcade game Marvel Superheroes that was ported to PlayStation in 1997, 2 years after the arcade release, we got this game on the Super Nintendo, and for some reason they decided to stick to two buttons for the schematics. I mean, come on, this game, after what, Goof Troop, this one used more buttons. They're obviously accustomed to SNES games having more buttons, using more buttons in the gamepad. So why a game in 1996 uses 2 buttons only? So none of the special aerial combos and none of the great stuff here. You get the selection of 5 superheroes: Spider-Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Iron Man, and Hulk. You know who's missing? Thor. Why isn't he there? Maybe they didn't want Thanos to hit his head with his hammer. Or maybe they were afraid that Thor would miss Thanos' head. But you could have used the guy who flies and shoots lightning. He should be fun to play. But not in this game. No, none in this game. But since I'm talking about a list of in search of worst Spider-Man game, and this game is you can play as Spider-Man in all of the story, I'll stick mostly to Spider-Man. And I'm gonna compare it to Ultimate Spider-Man. You know that PlayStation 2 wonderful game? It uses 6 buttons, aside from the analogs, which one is used for movement and one is used for camera. This one doesn't need camera. So they could have gone with jump, punch, kick, grab, special 1, L for special 1, or R for special 1, and L for special 2. But they decided to stick with 2 buttons. Why? There are special moves to be done. One of them is swing, and it's not fun. You can bounce off the swing, and looks like the 60s cartoon intro. And Spider-Man can crawl on vertical walls, but his crawl is slow. There are enemies that are hard to see, bosses that attack you as soon as the match starts after a loading screen. Why is there a loading screen in a Super Nintendo in a cartridge game? It's supposed to bypass loading, but there's loading before a boss. Enemies that can stay hidden behind the camera or away from the camera and can attack you from a distance. Enemies that can attack you before you reach them. Enemies that can attack in something. Gun turrets. And you know how Spider-Man can break walls? Yeah, and break heavy doors and stuff? Here, in Castle Doom, he's the only character who can't break the door, or the heavy door at the start. No, if you didn't know the special move, you're stuck. You can't go forward, you have to reset. But you need to know the special command to be able to swing upwards, so you can crawl. Sometimes it happens by miracle. It doesn't necessarily happen as soon as you press it. And as you know, slow crawl. Other characters. Captain America is the weakest character physically, and he can break this heavy door that Spider-Man can't. I mean, sure, you might be used to the Marvel Cinematic Universe where Cap is strong and can hold a helicopter by one hand, but no, this is comics, 616, the original line of comics. Cap isn't really that strong there. I guess they wanted to go with the style of Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic goes up, so he has higher jumps, and Knuckles can break walls. So characters like Hulk and Wolverine and okay, maybe I understand some stuff with Captain America because his shield is a combination of vibranium and adamantium, or depends who wrote it and in which era. So yeah, it might be able to break Doom's door. So in this case, I kinda get it, but at the same time, what's the point? And Cap is the one character who can perform aerial combo. Spider-Man can perform an aerial combo. He hits 2 kicks, but that's rare. Mostly you're stuck with 1 kick. Oh yeah, back to the Castle Doom. The special area where you go with Spider-Man, because you can't break the wall down there, and you can't fly as Iron Man controlling him. Not even a single flight, except for a charge attack. Spider-Man has to stand on platforms that fall, that drop. If you don't know the swing command, then you lose Spider-Man, and you have to choose another character. I'm not sure how to resurrect a dead character in this game. It's not like in Marvel Ultimate Alliance where you have to wait a certain amount of time and the character is resurrected or some command like this. No, you have to stick with the character who can't stuck away from the character, and that's not pleasant. Well, and then you fight Doom, and bosses are pretty cheap. Not only do they attack as soon as the loading screen ends and their health bar fully charges, no, not only that, but their attacks are stronger and they're hard to miss. Their attacks can sometimes be hard to miss. That's bollocks. In one of the boss fights, there are two laser turrets high above this devil-looking character, Evil Daredevil. You can reach it with Captain America with these, but with Spider-Man for some reason he can't reach it. It's troublesome and it's guaranteed to hit you. As soon as you break one, another turret appears in its place. What's the point? And there are places where there's gas or water, and water slows down your movement, and air is quickly depleted, and you have these doors to break and enemies to fight, and oof, this game is an exercise in frustration. You know what, this game sucks. When you fight Thanos, you have to fight him after you defeat Nebula, who looks like she does, kinda like the MCU counterpart. But you have to fight Thanos in a familiar place that you see in the end of the arcade, in his arcade stage. But that's about it. And this game sucks. 3 out of 10. Oh yeah, and there's this mid-boss who's cheaper than Fujin in Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. Come on game. How do you do that? You made me compliment Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Why did you do that? There's a cheap attack, he breaks the wall, and he charges. His attack pattern, even when you get accustomed to it, it's still a little inconvenient and random a bit. You know, you want to jump up, you need to jump up, so you jump up, and no, his goblin bombs attack you upwards. Why? Why? It doesn't make the game more challengingly fun, it just adds to the frustration. You know, the music kinda sounds like it does in what's its name? In Shinobi 3, but I checked and it's a different composer. The music is still neat, but it's not as awesome or as legendary as the arcade game's music.
Shut up. Get out.